Hello friends, today we will see the information related insulated gate bipolar transistor, the symbol of its, working of it and its characteristic. Let us see how IGBT works. Now let us see what is meant by IGBT. IGBT stands for insulated gate bipolar transistor. Okay, this is outline of today's session. In that session we will see symbol of IGBT, advantages of IGBT, structure of IGBT, working of IGBT, characteristic of IGBT. Okay, now let us start with symbol of IGBT. This IGBT has three different terminals, which is gate, collector and emitter, where this is, as seen from the symbol, the gate is insulated from the collector and emitter, so it is called as insulated gate bipolar transistor. Okay, next is, now let us see what are the advantages of IGBT. Okay, IGBT is nothing but a combination of MOSFET and BJT. In previous class we had seen what is meant by MOSFET, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, and what is BJT stands for bipolar junction transistor. Okay, so it has some characteristic of MOSFET as well as some characteristic of BJT. So what is the characteristic of MOSFET? It has high input impedance. The IGBT has high input impedance. Okay, and the characteristic of BJT is it has low on-state power loss. Okay, now let us see where the MOSFET and BJT is connected. Okay, let us draw one diagram. Let us see, we are having MOSFET is connected at the input. Okay, we are using the N channel MOSFET here, and here is the drain, here gate, and here we are having source. So this drain is having some resistance, suppose it is RD, drain resistance, and it is connected to BJT. Okay, we are having collector here, we are having emitter here, and this emitter is connected to the source. So this complete combination is nothing but insulated gate bipolar transistor. So at the input side we are having the MOSFET, and at the output side we are having the transistor, that is nothing but a BJT. So combiningly with MOSFET and BJT we can form the IGBT. Okay, now let us see in brief what is the structure of IGBT. Okay, so in this diagram I had drawn the structure of IGBT. Here the green color points are nothing but the metallic contacts here. Here we are having one metallic contact, here also, and here also we are having metallic contact. As we had seen, IGBT has three different terminals. So the metallic contact from these 2 points are taken out, and this terminal is known as emitter. Then this side is called as the P plus region is connected to collector, and here the gate is connected. This layer is nothing but the SiO2 layer, which forms the capacitance between gate and the internal structure. As this gate is separated from the internal structure, so it is called as insulated gate bipolar transistor. Now let us see how it works. Okay, what are its different terminals? So last P plus layer is called as injection layer. This layer is called as injection layer, and this N minus layer is called as drift layer. P plus region is called as injection layer, and N minus region is called as drift layer. And now let us connect gate, the battery between gate and the emitter, where gate is connected to positive supply and emitter is connected to negative supply. So the battery is connected between gate and emitter terminal, and this, suppose this voltage is called as Vc. Okay, then next, in between emitter and collector we are also connecting one battery, where emitter is connected to negative terminal of battery and collector is connected to positive terminal of battery. Suppose this is our VCC. This is structure of IGBT. Here we are. Here I had drawn the different terminals. Here we are having IGBT. For IGBT we are having 3 terminals. These 2 junctions are connected together and one terminal is taken out called as emitter. The gate is taken out here and the collector is connected to P plus region. Okay, the green color structures are nothing but a metallic contacts. Okay, in between gate and internal structure one layer is present, that layer is called as SiO2 layer. Okay, now this P plus region is also known as injection layer and N minus layer is called as drift layer. Let us see how the working of this IGBT is proceeded. Let us connect between emitter and gate one battery, where emitter is connected to negative terminal and gate is connected to positive terminal, and that voltage is denoted by Vg. Okay, and one more battery is connected between emitter and collector, where emitter is connected to negative and collector is connected to positive, and the battery supply is called as VCC, and it has 2 junctions, J1 and J2 junction. Now see, as J1 is connected to positive terminal of battery, so J1 is forward biased, and J2 is connected to negative terminal of battery, so it is reverse biased. Now from this diagram, as I am applying the positive gate voltage here, so at the SiO2 layer at the gate terminal we are generating the negative polarity here. As I am go on adding the voltage supply here, the negative terminals, the negative charge carrier go on increasing, and similarly on the body side we are generating the positive terminal. So the potential is generated at SiO2 layer, that is negative and positive value. This additional voltage supply at Vg at gate terminal induces negative charge in this P region. Okay, from this side also and from this side also. Before applying the Vg, there is no path to travel the current from this P plus region to this N plus region. Now the channel is formed because of the gate supply. So because of this channel there is current flowing from the collector region from this side to this terminal, as well as from this side to this terminal. The polarity, the number of negative potential generated in P region depends on the battery supply provided at the gate terminal. So this IGBT allows the flow of current here. So if I draw the specified diagram of the IGBT here, so this is what the diagram. At the gate terminal we are connecting Vg supply here between gate and emitter, and the resistance, suppose Rj is connected, and between collector and emitter this VCC supply is there. So due to this Vg, there is one current is flowing, that is called as Ig, and at the output side one more current is flowing, it is called as IC. So Ig is the input current and voltage between gate and emitter is called as input voltage, and IC is the output current and voltage between collector and emitter, it is called as output voltage. So for this diagram, input voltage is Vg, output voltage is VCE, input current is Ig, and output current is IC. Okay, as I am increasing the Vg voltage here, the gate voltage here, the output current depends on the input voltage. Okay, next point is we will see the transfer characteristic. transfer characteristic is nothing but the graph of output current versus input voltage, where VGE is nothing but input voltage and IC is nothing but the output current. So as I am go on increasing the voltage between gate and emitter at the input side, initially the current is minimum and after some value it starts increasing. So the value at which the gate current start increasing is called as threshold voltage. This is nothing but a threshold voltage. Before threshold voltage, the value of output current is low, and after the threshold voltage the current go on increasing. So this type of characteristic is called as transfer characteristic, and the threshold voltage value is around 1 volt for a normal n channel IGBT. Okay. Now next is output characteristic. It is nothing but a graph of output current versus output voltage. Okay, output current versus output voltage. Now see, initially as VC is 0, we are getting the minimum value. Okay, minimum value of this current. Now after some increasing VC, we are increasing some voltage here. We are increasing the current is increases initially, then it remains constant for some time, and after breakdown it increases sharply. So this is, suppose it is equal to for VCE1. For VCE2, the voltage again go on increasing, remains constant, and again increases to the sharp value, and again for the next VCE. So VCE2, and this is our VCE3. So from this voltages, from this graph we had seen the VCE3 is greater than VCE2 is greater than VCE1, which is greater than VCE2. So this is what the voltage, as we go on increasing the voltage between collector and emitter, the current start increases. The current increases initially to a small value, then it remains constant for a particular period, and then it increases sharply. Okay, so this particular region below the current is very low, it is called as cut-off region, where the output current is very low, and for this region the current remains constant. So this is called as saturation region of operation, and from here to here the current increases as the voltage increases. So this zone is called as active region. Okay, so this is what called as output characteristic of IGBT. Now as we had seen, IGBT is called as insulated gate bipolar transistor. It has another names also, such as MOS IGT, GEM-FET, COM-FET and IGT, where MOS IGT is nothing but metal oxide insulated gate transistor. IGBT is also known as GEM-FET, where GEM is called as gain modulated field effect transistor. It has one more name, COM-FET, where COM stands for conductivity modulated field effect transistor, and IGT, it is called as insulated gate transistor. So for today's session we had seen the symbol of IGBT, the advantages of IGBT, how its structure look like, what is the working of IGBT, what are its different characteristics. So thank you for today's session. Next point we will see in next session. Thank you for watching this video.